Welcome to the Little Big Bro podcast. I'm here today with, of course, the Big Bro.
Hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining. And we're here with our special guest, El Papa, which is which is our dad.
Hello everyone.
We have our dad here today. So today we are gonna talk about Dumb and Dumber. Basically, one of our favorite movies that we've ever done.
One of the classics. One of our classic movies. It's on our probably top 10 list. I mean, it's a family favorite.
Yeah, how many times have we watched it?
Like, oh my god, we watched it so many times.
At least that I can remember 50 times, and maybe more with Leo than with you, Hector.
Oh yeah,
my brother. And I still have the movie recorded, so I can watch it. You know, sometimes I just turn it on and I remember those good times when the three of us, you know, used to watch the movie. Yeah.
I don't know about you, like the newer generation, but we had to record it on VHS, like before it even came out.
We still have it on VHS, probably.
I think we still have it on VHS.
Yeah. Keep hand of those, because I think VHS, especially for old movies, people are gonna want that sometime in the future. People get
they're never gonna be able to play it.
We have the whole Disney collection on VHS.
You have to buy just like a box, like a tiny box TV with a VHS player.
Well, no, I mean the Atari came back out. Like you can plug it in, and it has like 50 little Atari games on the. You plug into the TV.
That's true.
You know, so you never know. Might be able to
still have the Atari. We still have the console. The Atari console, we still have that.
Wow, we still have that. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's in the garage.
Nice. Oh my god.
All right, so on the movie, so Dumb and Dumber. So, want to again thank you guys for joining us, and we're going to talk a little bit about the movie, because it's obviously one of our favorites, and it's in our conversations since the movie came out. We always mimic and make jokes about it. But so we'll start you off with the plot of the movie. I'm sure I've already seen it, but for those that haven't seen it, so there might be some spoilers in case you do watch it. But we recommend totally watching it. It's fun for like the whole family. It brings back some old type of comedy.
And it's a classic, definitely.
Yeah.
So basically, the plot of this movie, if I can like sum it up in a few words, or in a sentence, it's like a buddy comedy, a love at first sight movie, but also like a high stakes hostage crime drama situation, all into one movie, all in a comedy.
And also the story of two big losers. Because those two guys, that's the
somehow they
do anything right.
Somehow they make it in life.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
The phrase that sums it up, and I used to sum it up like when you see the previews, and when they first started showing the movie, was if each one had half a brain, they would still have half a brain.
Yeah. They even half a brain for each of them. They didn't make a whole full brain.
Pretty much. So basically, the movie starts out. How does it start out? I think it's just Harry. It
starts out with Lloyd. Right? So it starts off with Lloyd like taking a limo. He's a limo driver, and then so he drops off this or he's on the way to, I think, pick someone up to be dropped off to the airport.
Mary.
Yeah. And so, there's
pulls over to the side to talk
to yeah. So this is basically the like how comedy is going to be, because he pulls over and sees this this hot, like a really pretty girl standing in a corner, and he asks her for directions. And so she has an accent, and she's like, take a left over the bridge. And so he's like, oh,
New Jersey.
Are you from New Jersey? And
Yeah,
she,
That's a lovely
Austria.
accent.
you said you have.
And so he's like, "Oh, Austria." He's like, "Put another shrimp on the Barbie."
Like,
Austria.
Austria? Well then, good day, mate.
good day, mate.
And then she's like, "Let's not." So that's a type of like comedy that that this movie is. You know, it's. I mean, it's not. There's nothing politically correct about it.
No.
Or anything. So it's just a fun movie. And then okay, so he goes and picks up this girl Mary, and so this is where like the love at first sight happens, because she's this really pretty girl or lady, and basically takes her to the airport. And you know,
and what happens?
Funny stuff happens along the airport. You know, him not really paying attention to things. And he drops her off, and then when she goes to the airport, she ends up leaving luggage, and so he realizes that he leaves the luggage. So he goes like, you know, Mission Impossible, sliding under stuff, grabbing the luggage, and then following her. The plane already took off, and he still goes off the off ramp, and then like jumps off. What's that plane called? The tunnel on the. Where you're walking to go to
the runway,
the tarmac, or
the ramp that you walk to get onto the airplane. So he runs off of that and basically just falls off, chasing her
because the plane has taken off. Yeah,
yeah. And then
back in the day where there wasn't much security, so you could
wasn't much security. Yeah,
you can say bye to people at the gate of an airplane. You can't do that anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. And then Harry Dunn, that he's driving the van that he turned into a dog.
Yeah, right. And then it jumps. The
Shaggy dog.
Yeah,
like
that. Is it Mutt Clips or something like that?
Oh yeah, it's called Mutt Clips.
Yeah,
Mutt Clips.
Yeah, and he has like six dogs that he has groomed because they were going into a competition.
Yep.
Very important competition. But before he gets to deliver the dogs, he goes and he buys hot dogs and with mustard and
to get them food, right?
He fed the dogs, right? And when he gets to the delivery place where the dogs were going to the competition. Because
he's running late.
Yeah, they call him. Yeah, he's running late, so he speed up. And of course, all the dogs were bumping into each other with the mustard. So when he gets to deliver the dogs were all messed up. So
he's like, I didn't want them to be competing in an empty stomach.
Yes.
Yeah. They open up the back, and then the lady just like has a shocked face. And then I remember Harry. He's like, you might just want to run a comb through them.
And then
so they both lost their jobs, right?
Yeah. So and then both of them are unemployed. So then they both got fired. So that's basically the introduction of like of Lloyd and Lloyd and Harry. And so you know they end up. Lloyd is more of the manipulator, and Harry's the more of the has a little bit more common sense, not much.
More common sense.
A little bit more.
A whole lot.
But Lloyd's he's like the manipulator, because he'll manipulate Harry into doing a lot of stupid things.
True. Lloyd has the big ideas. He has the big ideas.
He talks them into like, oh, well, let's get out of here. Let's go to a place where you know.
The beer
where people will know somebody, and they'll be able to punch it in the social.
Where the wine,
where the beer flows like wine,
and
where beautiful women flock.
And women flock like salmon of Capistrano.
Yeah.
And the other one looks at her like, huh?
And then so
talking about a place called Aspen.
Let's go to Aspen.
Oh no, Lloyd, the French are assholes.
So let's go to a place that is warm. It's called Aspen. The French are assholes. The other guys. Wait a second, sir. They said. I know where you're going. You want to go and return the briefcase to the woman.
And that's
and
that sort of starts
door, right?
their whole little journey of like the rest of the movie is basically them going and on their journey to driving
almost cross country. Like
I think it's all
across country, basically.
Because
they're in Rhode Island and they're going all the way to Colorado.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's basically the sum of the whole movie, and then and then the luggage that they ended up like it had like some money that was supposed to be given to
$5 million. They had
$5 million that was supposed to be given.
It was
as a ransom for Mary's husband who was kidnapped. And so all this stuff like unravels and then there's people that are following them that think that they're like these like professionals because they stole the bag, and which obviously they're not professionals, and so they meet like people
mental, right? That was
that was the guy's
mental.
name.
The one with gas.
Because he's got gas.
And then like when they had already left on the road, the two henchmen go to their apartment and they see a note on the door.
Yes, remember.
Like so blah blah blah, like thanks gas man, we're sorry, we'll pay you back later, gas man. He's like,
because they haven't paid the gas bill.
No,
right?
Obviously. And the guys, the henchman is like, how do they know that I got gas?
And then they think of like trashing the place, but they're like, I don't think they'll get the message because they have worms in their apartment because they wanted to start a worm store.
They wanted like a worm farm, kind of like ant farm.
Worm farm, like an ant farm, but with worms.
And that's what Lloyd said to Mary when he's driving her to the airport. I got worms, and she goes, "What?
Oh yeah,
that's what we're gonna call it.
We're gonna call it. I got worms."
Okay. But anyways, so all right, so we'll get back on track. So they're on the road.
Next thing to talk about is when the henchman actually catches up to him, and because they're pulled over on the side, right, and they pull them over, and pick them up, and they also pick up of some like some farm workers.
But I like the part when they are on their way to they're driving out of
record it or
we're back in.
Okay. I like the part when they are driving and Lloyd is eating some chips, and Harry is asking, "Where did you get that from?" He said, "Oh, I was able to raise some money before we left." And how did you raise money? And he said, "Oh, I sell some stuff, baseball cards and some."
That's right.
Yeah, to what was his name? The blind kid.
I don't know, Simon Forsey or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's Billy Forsey.
Billy Forsey. Billy, the blind kids. Yeah. I saw some marbles, some baseball card, and Petey. Petey was the parakeet that the guy that rubbed his neck. Right?
Oh yeah, because when the henchmen went into their apartment, they sent them a message by killing their bird.
Like a little parakeet bird.
Parakeet. So,
and then Harry's like, "You sold my dead bird to a blind
kid?"
It's like, I took care of it. We're just like, it's like
Petey had no head.
It took care of it. And then they showed
taper. He put taper on the little head. The little kid's like
with a marble.
Pretty bird.
Oh my god!
Polly want a cracker?
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh, that's such a good
and that's right when they take off and then that's right when they're about to take off, and because he went and he got some random stuff at the store, and then they also on the way on their drive, their initial drive, that's when they came across the henchmen, because the henchmen went and found the way that they're going.
They knew where
and
they were.
And so they pulled up aside and just asked for help.
Yeah.
And so they picked them up. They picked them up, and then they picked up like some oh yeah, that's what they pick them up first. And so he's like, they're talking like small talk, and then he's like, hey, so like, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Yeah.
Like,
and the guy said, guys, why don't we turn the radio on? And they said, radio? Who needs radio? Harry? And they start singing the Mockingbird.
Oh yeah, they start singing. Ready, guys? Bird.
My bird, my
bird,
yeah,
bird, yeah.
He was gonna kill them both when they found some people asking for a ride, right? And then
like he was about to kill them both, and then you see more people, and like it was like some farm workers, and he's like, oh, pick them up. And so they all pick them up, and they're all singing the Mockingbird song.
Everybody's just singing. Oh my god.
Mock, yeah, ing, yeah, bird, yeah.
And then I think they end up going to, what is it, like at one point they get some time to sleep, and then they end up going to like somewhere to eat, right?
Right, they go to this to this little burger place.
Yeah,
and
the devils.
So they're all eating, and that's when let's get the little one.
No,
that's
Lydia.
When
no,
this is little Lydia.
Oh.
So that's when the henchman actually finds out that they actually had nothing to do, that they're just basically in the wrong place at the wrong time, because they're just bringing back the luggage to the lady that dropped it. And so he starts laughing, and he's like, oh my god. And at that moment he goes to use the restroom really quick, and so they like putting pranks on people. So he's like puts a bunch of chili or something, some red peppers or something.
Yeah, chili peppers, yeah.
And so puts them in his burger, and so he gets back, and he's like, man, you guys are like wrong place at wrong time.
You guys are the wrong place at the wrong time.
And so he ends up eating and then they're distracted by like, oh, well, how's your burger? And they're just, and so he eats it, and then he starts having like like a heart attack, or
that he has ulcer.
An ulcer.
His ulcer.
When the chili hits the stomach, the ulcer, it's like, it feels so burning feeling.
Yeah.
He's like, give me. I know CPR. He said.
Oh my god, the CPR, because then he goes in and lays him.
It's just a lot easier if you just lay back
down, and he grabs his legs and like pushes him in and pushes him. He's like, in with the bad, out with the good. In with the bad, out with the good. And
give him that medication, and the guy was planning to put rat poison.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
So to kill them, right, and take the briefcase with the $5 million, but instead of reaching inside his pocket with to get the ulcer medication, they get the rat poison tablets.
Yeah.
And actually like 50 in his mouth, is it
right?
Yep.
And he dies.
Yeah, they accidentally kill him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, then he asks like the waitress, he's like, Chuck, please. And so this is where it turns up into a little twist, because they killed this professional hitman, now his boss thinks that these guys are some professionals, that they killed like one of his like main guys. So now they're really like going to be looking for them. And at this point, like they end up I think that then they end up filling up for gas. They stop at the gas station, remember? So they stop at the gas station, and Lloyd goes get some snacks while Harry's filling up for gas. and Harry's talking to this black girl, and while he's filling up her gas, and so she's saying like, "Oh, we just got out of a relationship and stuff like that," and he's like, "Oh, okay," and he's not really paying attention, so he's actually filling up the already filled up, and the gas got all over his foot.
Excuse me, but you're spraying everywhere.
Oh. And I guess she's about to take a smoke, and he's like, "Oh, here, I got it." So he tries to be a gentleman, gives her the light, and then ends up lighting himself on fire. And so she's asking for like, oh, he's like, he's asked for her number, and he's like, "I got a good memory," because he's on fire, but he's trying not to say that he's on fire. And he's like, "Just give me the stinking number." And she's like, with that attitude, I'm just gonna go.
That is so weird how your mind just goes blank.
For God's sake, just give me the damn number.
Okay, look, you gonna get pushy? Forget about it.
But while that was happening, remember, like, Lloyd was in the bathroom. And so there was a guy that he was like peeing, and he's reading these signs, for a good time. Call this number. Or be here at this time, and it was that time, and then this guy comes in and
oh man, you got it.
Pushes his head down into the corner, and he's like, find a happy place, and it just so happens that at that moment, then because Harry's foot is on fire, he finds a bathroom, kicks down the stall, and shoves his foot into the toilet.
Can you talk about Seabass? Because Seabass is the guy that goes to the bathroom.
That's true.
Yeah. Talk about
the reason why that guy was more than happy to see Lloyd is because along the road trip they had like stopped somewhere to eat, and I think they were talking, and then I think like was it Harry spill some like salt, right? And then Lloyd just tells him like, "Oh, just throw some salt over your right shoulder."
Yeah, he said, "What have you done?" He said, and he said, "What? You just spilled the salt." He said, "Spilling the salt is a bad luck, and now we're going a cross country trip, So he said, "Toss some salt about your right shoulder." Right?
So instead of actually grabbing salt and throwing it, he just grabs a salt container and throws it.
And that hit that guy in the head.
Who said that man that hit me with the salt shaker?
Yeah.
So the same guy that was in the stall.
Yeah, it pisses him off. And I mean, not only that, but in that scenario, when after he hits him with the salt shaker, he he spits in Harry's sandwich. And then they end up getting back at him by like going to the waitress and saying like, they won't actually take our bill. They're actually really nice guys, blah blah blah.
To bury the hatches, he said.
Yeah. And they end up just like running away from the restaurant and having them pay the bill.
The woman said, "Seabass said that?" And he said, "Yeah, if Seabass is that guy over there," and the Seabass said, "Yeah, here."
Because he just like waves.
Because Lloyd had told him, he's like, "Don't worry, we're gonna take care of your check." But then he ends up telling the hostess like, "Hey, they're gonna pay for our check," and then they take off.
And then they take off, and then they said, Harry said, "Oh man, that was brilliant. That was a brilliant scam. How did you come up with that?" He said, "Well, actually," he said, "I saw it on a movie." And he said, and there Harry said, "Oh, and the guy gets away." He said, No. In the movie, they caught up with him and they slit his throat.
In the movie, they catch up to him half-mile down the road and slit his throat. It was a good one. Wow.
And then Harry start pushing the accelerator.
It's like speeding up, yeah.
He's like, it was a good one.
Said, "You know what? Can you pull over? I need to pee." He said, "I'm not pulling over. You know that guy's gonna be following us." And he said, "Oh, use those empty beer bottles that are on the floor." And he started peeing. He said, "But peeing a lot. What are you, a camel?" He said, he said, "Pitch in." He gives it and give it to Harry, right? And Harry was driving like with three or fourth
beer bottles. Yeah.
open,
That full of pee.
full of pee, and then the police officer
Yeah.
said,
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because like they were speeding already, so like yeah,
right.
You guys been drinking all grandpa medicine?
Yeah, grandpa's old cough medicine.
Cough medicine. Yeah. Oh no, sir. No, we're not. What is that? Sir? That is nothing, sir. Give it to me, and he drinks.
Keep your mouth shut if you knew it was good for you, buddy.
Get the hell out of here.
Oh my goodness. That's right.
All the stuff that they like go through on the road. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good movie to watch.
You know, Leo and I we went to Denver, Mom and I, and we went to visit Leo when Leo was there, right? And Leo took us to the hotel where they filmed the you know, when they realized they had all this money in the briefcase, and they bought it's a Lamborghini, I think. They bought
wait. Before we get to that, before you say that, Dad, let's get to that part of the the movie, and then you can tell that.
Yeah. Let's talk about the when they're driving and the dream sequence.
Yeah. So
what happens in the dream sequence?
Yeah, because now they take off and driving. Like after they leave the gas station, right? That's when Lloyd takes, because Harry's tired, so Lloyd takes over driving, right, Dad? And you were saying like on his dream sequence that he has.
Yeah, that he was in a cottage, and he goes and knocks the door, and Mary comes out, and there were a lot of doves, you know, flying from her back up, and he kind of turned her around, and he pulled out her skirt, you know, and he kind of and then they are in this room with a lot of her friends and his friends, and he's telling jokes, and he was the funniest guy, you know, and then he was all, you know, thinking that I mean, to impress Mary. And then I think
that's when he does his little.
They were eating in a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And
doesn't he do like the fart thing with his friends?
Oh yeah,
with her friends?
The fart, yeah. Oh yes.
Oh yes. Little match on his.
Yeah, he pulled his legs up. He grabbed a lighter. He farts, and there's a lot of flames, you know, like it's an explosion, right? And then he's at the restaurant, and then they're eating dinner, and this the waitress or the manager, the restaurant manager, comes over and start kissing Mary's hand, right? So he gets up, and he's like a karate guy, and
it's like a thing from like Mortal Kombat.
Something like that. And then the cook, the chef, you know, jumps out of the kitchen, and he's going all these moves, like karate moves, and then Lloyd goes and he rolls over, and he goes like, right. And then he punches his heart, the guys on the chest. He grabbed his heart, ripped his heart off, got a doggy bag, opens the doggy bag, and puts the heart in it, and gives it to the guy.
like a little fatality.
Yes. And then they're in with Mary, like in maybe like a bedroom or something. And then Mary started taking her cloth off, and when he looked at her chest, he see two big headlights, and he starts going, but
literally headlights.
18-wheeler coming right in front of him.
And he swerves out of the way. And I think that's when they realize, because then Harry wakes up, and then Oh no, because then I think he wakes up and falls back asleep, and then that was nighttime. So then now it's like daytime, and then they're like,
point,
you know,
Lloyd
they
direction.
went the wrong direction, and so like there are no mountains.
He took the wrong way because he was playing with Harry. He was kind of pinching his nose, right? Yeah, pinching the nose. So he didn't realize that instead of taking Denver, he took Lincoln. And then
and he's like,
but the funny thing is,
he's like that John Denver's full of shit, man.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought the Rocky Mountains would be a little more rockier than this.
Yeah, and then oh my god!
But it's a funny coincidence because they show a scene in the movie that the cops who end up finding out that the guy they accidentally killed, they had a roadblock for them if they took their way to Denver.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
If he would have taken Denver,
they would have been
caught. Yeah.
It would have been like the end of the movie.
Exactly. Yes.
So,
I think at this point they actually run out of gas, and so and then Harry gets mad at him, and they get upset, and then he walks. Harry says he's walking, so he starts walking, and then Lloyd ends up like, a little few minutes later, he ends up coming behind Harry with a little scooter.
Harry. But then Harry said, "We have no gas, we have no money, we have no place to sleep at," and then he started walking somewhere, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Lloyd comes in with the scooter, and he's
Quack, quack.
Yeah. with his jacket.
Where did you get that from?
Trading for some kid. For the van for it straight up.
Straight up.
We traded a van.
Got room for one more if you still want to go to Aspen.
Where did you find that?
Some kid back in town. Traded the van for it, straight up.
Yeah. You still want to... This hop makes like a 50 miles on a gallon. He said. Do you still want to go to Denver? He said, "You know what, Lloyd? You go out and do something dumb like this and totally redeem yourself." You want to still go to Denver? Oh, yeah.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
And totally redeem yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're driving with minimum clothes. I mean, like it looks like not thick jackets, like thin jackets. And they're driving to Denver where it's freezing, and so they end up freezing onto each other. And
they're like going up in they're frozen on the bike, and Harry's like, "I gotta go to the bathroom," and Lloyd's like, "Just go, man, just go."
He's like, "That feels warm."
Really warm. And they were holding the truck.
Just go, man. Oh. That's really warm.
Traffic, right? And they were going.
Yeah, because they're just trying to go.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
And so they finally get to Denver, and then now. They're freezing and they're at a park trying to stay warm with a little fire. And then Harry's hands are freezing. Lloyd's the only one that has gloves, and he's all mad. He's like, "My fingers are freezing." And he's like, "Oh," Lloyd's like, let me give you a pair. I have 2 pairs on." And so that's sort of like
gloves.
Yeah, he had 2 mittens on, and so that sort of sets Harry off. And then
Maybe you should wear these extra gloves. My hands are starting to get sweaty.
Extra gloves?
And they get in a fight.
Lloyd, I'm gonna kill you. He said, "What?"
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill you.
You had an extra pair of gloves this whole time.
when he's
we're in the
choking him, he's like,
the Rockies.
and when he's choking him, he's like, Harry, your hands are cold.
Your hands are crazy.
And that's when the luggage or the briefcase like falls over, and they realize that like there's some money.
He wanted to throw it in the pond.
Oh, that's right. That's right. No, in the fire. I think they were gonna throw it in the fire.
No, in the pond. And when he tries to throw in the pond, the other one blocks the arm, and then the briefcase opens up. Yeah.
And so there's like tons of money in there, and they're like, okay, well, we're just gonna use a little bit of it, and then we're gonna pay it back every single penny. He's like, well, IOUs. IOUs.
That's what we're good for. The ones
our words are bought, and then like they go to like the fancy hotel with like two beds,
the most expensive room.
So you were saying like when you went to go visit Leo, because the hotel was super fancy, and they showed up with like a Lamborghini. And so they bought a bunch of stuff. They bought these like fancy like snowsuits, Lamborghini.
Yeah, they start giving money away. Oh my god!
Yeah, giving money away.
Oh my
but they filled up the case with IOUs. They're keeping track of every single penny.
Yes.
Yeah, we're keeping track.
And you were saying that you went to the hotel that they were at.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. And then what happened next? I think they're watching TV. They're watching TV, and Lloyd is crying. They both are crying because a little girl with her father is like going away on the TV, right? And they were blowing their noses with $100 bills, right?
Oh yeah, with the money, they're wiping their tears with the money.
And at the end, it says I think it was Pacific Bell commercial. So Pacific Bell will always keep you connected with the people that love, something like that, right? So they were crying over a commercial, Pacific Bell commercial. Oh my god! And then they said, "Oh my goodness, this is live." And then Lloyd grabs the newspaper. He said, "Let's see what else is on TV." And then he said, "Harry." I said, "What? Mary? What? Yeah, Mary, the one with the briefcase." And I said, and then he started trying to read, and he's illiterate. He can't even read.
What was the word he was trying to say?
Poor Lloyd.
That part. I mean, that was one of my favorite parts.
And then Harry grabs the newspaper and then reads whatever, because they were going to some
there's a
beneficiary
dinner, right?
Dinner or something and that's when they get the idea. They're like, okay, he was like, we need to get you dressed up for the ball, Cinderella.
And then I have here this is the. Let me see.
Oh, that's the suits that they get.
This is the suit that what's his name?
Lloyd.
And
Lloyd wears.
Yeah, this is the suit that
Harry wears.
That Harry wears, right? With canes, right? Each of them. Oh, that part is not. Well, I mean, the whole movie is I enjoy it so much, but that part okay, go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So because before they get the suits, they get all done up. So they get haircuts. Lloyd puts his little bowl and they cut his hair, and they try to get a pedicure.
They try different.
It looked like he had like some Shrek nails going. Going on.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And so then they go into the dinner, and what cracks me up is before they go in, he does his little spray, but it sprays like the opposite direction. He completely misses his mouth as they're walking into like this.
Harry hits. No.
Lloyd sprays Harry with it.
With the cane. No, with the cane.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because they were playing a game. as they're walking into
Larry's ribs, right?
Yeah.
But the other one, so Lois start walking in front of
Lloyd knocks Harry's hat off.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then he grabs the cane, and then whack right on his leg, the upper leg. Oh, and he goes down and kneels on the floor.
And then they're like, time out.
Time out.
And then,
and then they
go into the guy.
Yeah. What was his name? Oh my goodness, the bad guy.
I don't remember his name.
But
he was like, this is like a 2000
many times.
This is like a $2,000 dinner, and he's like, oh, let's put us down for 4 just in case we want seconds.
Yes. And Andre.
Oh, Andre. Yeah,
Andre.
Right.
Yeah, Andre was his name. Yeah. So Andre said, sorry, this is a $5,000.
Oh, 5,000. Yeah.
$5,000 dinner. Said, put us up for 4, and then he used the spray and he sprayed.
Oh, that's right.
But all they do is on accident.
The woman said, "Those are the guys." Which guys? The guys that walk mental.
That whacked mental, yeah.
The walk mental, and the other guys. And then they saw Mary, right? Then Lloyd saw Mary there.
Yeah, and so Lloyd couldn't go talk to her, so he sent Harry to try and go like talk him up. So Harry's talking to her, and they're both not really good with talking to girls. So like he stutters, and then he ends up booking a date with Mary.
Yeah.
And so he comes back and tells Lloyd, he's like, "Oh, you're golden. You got a date with her, at this time."
Before that, Leo, do you remember that part when they said Harry, when Lloyd when he sees Mary, he said, "Oh, that's Mary," and then Harry said, "Oh, she's an angel. Go talk to her." Remember what happened there?
No. Wait,
no.
What happened?
Okay. Lloyd makes the move like if he's gonna go talk to Mary, and he turns around and said, "Why don't you go and talk to her? Tell her that I'm rich, good looking, and I have a big I don't know what." And then he started, and Lloyd said, no. Then Harry said, no, I don't want to go. And then Lloyd started jumping up, please, go. So finally he convinced him, and he goes. And Mary,
like a little kid, it's great.
She's standing just, watching the owls, the white owl, the snow owls, right?
Yeah, it's like a charity event.
It was like a fundraiser dinner to conserve the snow owls, because it's an endangered species, right?
Yeah.
So he said, you have a nice pair of hooters there. And she goes,
she's
"Oh,
like, excuse
me? The owls, they're beautiful." And he said, "Oh yeah, are you a bird lover?" And then he said, "Well, no, actually, yes. I had a parakeet." He said, "But the main line of expertise is canines, and
dogs.
Canines is dogs, for the lay people."
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh yeah, and how are you involved in dogs?" And he said, "Well, I clip them, I bathe them, and I breed them." "Oh, any special breeding?" she said. And then he said, "No, mainly doggy style."
That's right.
He's like, "Oh yeah, we once bred a bulldog with a Shih Tzu."
Oh yeah, one time we mix it. We breed a dog with a. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, we call it bullshit. Oh my goodness. And then the stepmother, walks in, and she said, "Oh,
that's right. It was the stepmother that like she pushed a date for her.
Yeah,
to go
she's
out.
she's the one that sort of like got them to
convince
Mary to go out.
Yeah, Mary,
because no one really knows that the husband's been kidnapped or that they're
didn't
no one
tell
really knows that at this point.
Right.
They find that out at the end. And then Harry comes back and tells Lloyd, he's like, "You're golden, you're good." And he's like, "We got you a date." And so they celebrate. He's like, "It's time to celebrate." And they grab a bottle of like champagne and open the cork. And the cork goes straight and kills one of the birds. The last two of the endangered species snow owls.
Yeah. Oh, this party really dies.
I think, and then there comes like a scene between like the main bad guy that took Mary's husband, and he's talking with his other henchman, and he's just like, yeah, these guys killed a bird with a cork.
Maybe it was a coincidence, she said. Maybe that's a coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys are professionals.
They're professionals.
They walk. How can someone walk a bird with a cork? These guys are professionals.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's when the scene, right? Because then it goes to the next day. Lloyd goes and meets Harry, or meets at the meeting place where Harry where he was supposed to meet the girl. While Lloyd is waiting for Mary, Harry actually is meeting up with Mary at the lodge, and so they go snowing, and spend the whole day. And he ends up they build a snowman and have a little snow fight, and so she throws my
favorite. It's such a funny. Nothing is said, but like they're building a snowman. They have a snow fight. They just throw snow at each other, and then she kind of throws it, and it hits him like in the face, like a little bit,
and the chest, yeah,
and the chest, and he gets his face just goes just like serious. He grabs the ball,
like serious, like, oh, you want to throw a snowball at me.
I mean, it's right on the face, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he throws it right at her face. And then she's just like in shock, and he's just like,
yeah. But then she grabs another snowball. She makes another snowball and throw it at him, and he ran and he tackled her like if he was in a real fight with another guy, right?
Like shoving her head into the snow.
And then she gets up and he squares up, like if he really want to fight with her, and she starts laughing, In the meantime, the other guy is at the restaurant, at the bar, waiting for Mary to get there, right? And then, the FBA lady, she comes over and she starts
right, which coincidentally is the same lady that he tried to lit a cigarette to at the gas station. So that's the one that was following him.
So he got very annoyed by this woman, and then he asked the bartender, "Do you know? There's a bartender. Do you know where Mary Swanson lives?" And then the guy goes, "Oh, Mary Swanson." And then he grabs the bartender. He pulled him close to him. He said, "What do you mean by that?" He said, "Mary Swanson, she comes here to eat dinner." Said, "Oh, okay. Yeah, okay." You know by any chance where she lives? He said, "Oh, yeah, she and her family had a big plate in Alpine Drive." He said, "Alpine Drive. Okay. And then she goes, and when he's on his way out, there's this can you see it?
Oh, that's right. You have it.
Yeah. Man walking on the moon, and he goes, "No way. We landed on the moon." It's like 20, 40 years ago.
Clearly 40 years ago.
And Leo and I, we were at that restaurant in Denver, and we took pictures, right, Leo? Next to that, and it's there. This says, "Men." The same newspaper that I have here. Men landed on the moon, and that's the reason that I bought.
No way. That's great.
We landed on the moon.
Bought it when we went to visit Leo in Washington D.C.
Yeah,
we went to
because Yeah,
They were
because it's
selling
funny.
that, and I bought it just because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a funny fact that the whole movie, the ending of the movie is set in Aspen, but they weren't really. It wasn't filmed that much in Aspen. Because like the moment where they drive into like Aspen is actually another city called Breckenridge.
Yeah, we were there, right? You took us there.
Yeah, which is really funny. And then the hotel that they stay at isn't in Aspen. It's, I forget where it's called, the Stanley Hotel, I think.
Something like that. Yeah,
It's in Estes Park, which is like not that far from Denver, but it's like it's like still 2 hours away from Aspen. But it's funny that the hotel is it's super close, and we visited when
and they have a section dedicated to Dumb and Dumber, to the movie.
Yeah,
with pictures and everything, right?
Yeah, because Dumb and Dumber was filmed there. The Shining with Jack Nicholson.
The Shining, yes,
that was filmed there.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's funny how that hotel's, it's a horror hotel, but it's also like in Dumb and Dumber. Like
it's like exactly, yeah. It was so funny there. Yes, yeah. Okay, so we are where where he goes, and he drives to Alpine Drive, and then he's kind of hidden around some bushes, I think.
Yeah, he's waiting for them to come back. And before Harry and Mary come back, they're just finishing up at the lodge, and I think Mary was like they got like, what was it called? What's it called? The gondolas?
Oh, the snow gondolas that take you
take
you up high.
That's before.
That's where they're like taking that, like towards the end of their time on the mountain.
That was after after the snow
fight. Yeah, and
because at one point, like, they're going down, and Harry, they're just talking, and then Harry gets distracted, and he's like, "Oh, look, frost."
Frozen.
And then he goes like that on the pole.
And then so his tongue gets stuck on the pole, and so he's not able to go, and he goes and does little like laps, as long as it stayed on there a couple times, and then finally once Mary was done skiing, she comes and she's like trying to like pull his head off of the snow, so you see his tongue just like.
Because apparently they must have like detached that gondola where he was sitting and just placed it somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, they just like left them there.
And there were two kids who say, "Oh, look at that guy!" And said, "Hey guys, that guy had a cup of warm water."
Yeah.
So funny.
So she rips off like the piece of his tongue off the pole, and they end up going back to he ends up driving her back home.
Right. So at that point they get back, and then Lloyd was hiding in the bushes while they got back, and that's when he realized that, I was like, oh, it's like, you backstabbed me. You went on a date with her, not me.
Yep.
And I think then I don't know, did he meet up with her like that night, or was
no?
It the next day?
They go back to the hotel, and then they said, this Lloyd said to Harry, "I was waiting for her. She never showed up." And then Harry said, because he thought that was gonna be at 10 a.m. right, to meet with him in the bar. And then he said, "Well, maybe she meant 10 p.m." And then Lloyd said, "Oh yeah, I thought she was a raging alcoholic." He said,
to get drinks at 10 a.m. Yeah.
And then the other one said, well, he said, I need to do something at night. So when he was getting ready, Lloyd started putting a laxative on the coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we drink a good luck? Can we do a good luck toast with a cup of coffee, something like that? And the other said, of course, yeah. And he drinks it all, and he even going, drink it all, and he drinks it all, delights it. And he goes to pick up Mary.
Yeah. Yeah, and as he's like on his drive to Mary's house, you just see Harry. He's just driving, and then you hear like his stomach rumbling.
And there's a scene. So as soon as he gets in, he's like, let me use your restroom. And so the diarrhea that comes out and his little noises and
but you know, Mary's in the kitchen with the cook, with another lady, and they had a small TV, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
There was a announcement about the Menendez brothers, and right after that, he said, and next, the guy on the TV said, and next, we're gonna tell you about this blind kid who was from Rhode Island, who was what is the word?
He was duped into buying a headless
parakeet. And then Mary said, "Oh my God, who are those guys?" And then tuck, they knock at the door.
Oh, that's right.
Lloyd's at the door.
One was in the bathroom, and the other one was at the door.
The poor little boy. He's just like, I thought he was just really quiet.
The kid, they show the kid.
Oh my God.
And then Harry is having diarrhea in the bathroom, and he goes and he just made it to the toilet, right? And that part I have seen it so many times, but I laugh so much when I see it. But at the very end, after all the explosive diarrhea,
all the big farts.
Yeah.
Like little fart.
That's a little fart. Satisfaction. Oh my goodness.
So he tries to he opens the window and tries to
let all the bad air out.
Broken. Yeah, the toilet was
the toilet was broken, so it wouldn't flush. And then Mary's asking, what you're doing there. He's like, I just thought I'd take a shower.
Oh, I'm shaving.
Or shaving, shaving. And then but then now that Lloyd knocked on the door, and then he's like, I got your briefcase. He's like, I have it back at the hotel if you want to come with me. Mary's like, look, I gotta go. And she ends up leaving Harry in the bathroom, and she goes with Lloyd.
Yeah, and she's like, okay, you're shaving. Just don't use the toilet. It doesn't flush.
It doesn't flush. Like, bastards. They start throwing things out of the window. So they get to the hotel. Oh no, she's with Lloyd and the Hawk, right? The little motorcycle.
Yeah.
They get to the hotel, and then he said, I raise you to the top. And then she started going up the stairs, and he grabbed her ankle, and she falls. And she
tripped her.
Kind of walks over her. Then he said, I want. That's the mentality, right? Like a little kid. Then they're in the bedroom, in the hotel room. And then he starts telling her, right? He started telling her, no. He's like she goes to the bathroom, and then he starts talking to himself about how much, like if she was in front of her, right? And then he said that he loved her and all that. And then she walks out of the bathroom and said, "Oh, is someone here? Are you talking to someone?" He said, "No." And they said, "Mary." What he said?
Yeah. Well, okay, so he's rehearsing to himself, he's like, "I love you." He's like, "You make me feel like I'm a schoolboy."
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy how much I love you, blah, blah, blah. And when she comes out, and he's like, oh,
he's like, I want to make love to a schoolboy.
Yeah. She's like, what?
She's like, what?
Oh, well,
he's like, no. she's like, I
Like,
mean,
like in love.
That a boy like you and a girl like me, he said that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
could end up together.
Like,
No.
it's hard to tell.
Yeah, he'd probably do that.
Level
She's like,
with me, he said, give it flat out. Tell me flat out. Do I have any chance? And he said, well, maybe. I don't think so. She said, you said that like a 1 in a million? He said,
like,
yeah,
or
maybe.
what, like 1 in 100.
Like, so,
and she's
you're
like,
saying there's a chance.
yeah.
They still have a chance, 1 in a million.
And remember, while they're in the hotel room, Harry finally leaves her house and then is walking back. So, and when he's walking back, that's when the FBI agent sees him. He's like, "Hey, Harry, you never called."
Oh yeah, he was going to the stairs. Yeah,
yeah, and it cuts there, and then it cuts back to the hotel scene, and that's when actually what's his name, Andrews, or the guy that
Andre.
Yeah,
and
which was like, yeah, I guess he's related to Mary or is a family friend or something, but basically he's the guy that. Yeah, he's the one that kidnapped her husband, and so now he's like holding a gun to them to ask for the money, and he's like, oh, there's the luggage, and it opens up, and it's basically all the money was gone, except for like maybe like
IOUs,
maybe for like 1 stack of bills, but everything else was IOUs, and he's like, where's the money? He's like, and he's like, oh, those are as good as money, sir. Those are IOUs.
Yeah, exactly. And see that one on top, he said, and it says 250,000 for the car, right? For the Lamborghini.
Right.
You might want to get a hold on that one. He said that one you might want to keep, yeah. So, oh, I'm gonna kill you.
And I think that's when Harry comes back and knocks on the door or opens up.
They open up the door,
yeah.
He was ready to shut Harry. I mean, he was ready to shut Lloyd, right?
Yeah, right. And so Harry's like, no. He's like, shoot me. And then so they get in this little back and forth argument, like, shoot me.
Yeah.
And then
Harry's like, we had a great time. Like, we built a
snowman. He's like,
we went skiing. She touched my leg.
Yesterday was one of the greatest days of my life. Mary and I went skiing. We made a snowman. She touched my leg.
Okay, kill him.
And then Lloyd's like, okay, fine, shoot him. And so they shoot him, and then they're like, oh my god, and
you think Harry's dead?
Yeah, and so you think Harry's dead, and then like he ends up waking up or getting up, and then he has a gun and then shoots and completely misses like above like the ceiling and everything. And then he's like, hey, good luck for me. And then that's when the cops come in and then basically handcuff him and everything.
Well, but I love the part where like Lloyd is just like, Harry, you're alive.
Right.
Harry, and then he looks at the bad guy and he's like, you're a horrible shot. But like the guy clearly shot Harry right in the chest.
Yeah.
No, he tells Harry that he's a horrible shot because he's like, Harry, you're alive.
The bad guy.
No, was it the bad guy? I always thought it was Harry because Harry.
No, Harry. He said that to Harry because Harry
missed him
when he said
I'm pretty sure
he said, "You bastard! You killed my friend." And the guy said, "If it's of any consolation, you are next." So he was gonna shoot him when Harry gets up with the gun and shoot said, "Harry, you're alive! You're a horrible shot."
I'm pretty sure he taught right after that to the bad guy.
The guy says. After he says he's like, you're a horrible shot, the bad guy goes like, lucky for me.
Oh,
and then he's about to shoot. I don't remember Harry or Lloyd again. And then that's when the cops come in.
Oh, okay, then, yeah, that's right.
And then they all explain like, okay, they have him.
Harry, you're alive. And you're a horrible shot.
Arrested and everything, and then Harry explains that he saw the cops or the lady downstairs and gave him a bulletproof vest, and then Lloyd's like, "Oh," he's like, "Okay, well," he's like, "What if they would have shot you in the face?"
In the face.
What if he shot me in the face?
That's a risk we were willing to take.
And she's like, "That's a risk we were willing to take."
Exactly. Yeah. Did I get a gun? How come I didn't get a gun?
That's right. That's right.
He asked Mary, "Did you get a gun?"
Yeah. And so they're all led out of the hotel. Like, you know, there's ambulances, cop cars, out in front of the hotel, and then a guy gets out of a cop car and starts going to Mary. When you're like, oh, like it's the husband, and then Lloyd ends up having a daydream where he shoots the husband.
They shoot the husband.
Like,
what was the husband's name? Oh my god,
I don't remember.
I'm blanking out. Oh my goodness.
I have no clue.
Frankie, no. Oh my goodness, I'll remember his name. And he shakes his hand, and he shakes it very, very strong, very hard, right? And he said, "Oh, I'm so happy that you're alive." You know? And then the next scene is when they're walking without anything, right? Just what they're wearing.
What was it that they said? Like
they took a nest egg. They took the hog broke down. Then they took a nest egg. You know, but we were happy to help. That we did help Mary. And then he said, "Yeah, we will catch. We will." They were talking about being the bad luck, right? That they took everything, and then this bus full of beautiful women, they stopped right next to them, right? And they asked them that
they were going to a bikini competition.
Bikini Hollywood by one of this. Hi guys, we're looking for a couple of guys to oil us up, you know,
before every competition.
You are in luck. Harry said, right? You can find a couple of guys in the town that way.
Who can grease us up before each competition.
You are in luck. There's a town about 3 miles that way.
So then Lloyd said, "Have you realized what you have done?
Do you realize what you've done?"
And he started running.
Running for the bus.
You know, is tapping on the on the bus. And he said, "I'm sorry." When they opened the door, "I'm sorry. You gotta excuse my friend. He's a little slow. The town is that way." And all the women, they just look at each other. Don't worry, Lloyd. You know, we'll catch her. The luck will come to us. We'll catch up.
Yeah, he's like, "We'll catch our break soon."
We're gonna catch our break, yeah. And then they start quizzes. No, you know, when they are teasing each other,
like
quizzes,
tagging
not
each other.
starters. Oh,
that's the end of the movie,
and that's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, it's such a great movie. It's just so funny. It makes us.
I watch it, and if I watch it tonight, I would laugh and enjoy it as much as when I watched it the very first day. It's, you know, I think that movie should have been at least nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah. I think right now it's playing. It's playing on Max.
Oh, really? Yeah. No, I gotta record it, you know, just to watch it.
Nice. Yeah. Did you guys ever see it in theaters? I don't think I was.
No, we went to see it in the theater.
I think we saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, we went to see it. Yeah.
Oh, God, I don't remember.
No. Wait a second. No, we took your grandma. Well, I mean, one of you two went with us. But
that
was what year did that movie come out?
I think it was 94.
94. So you were very little. I'm sure you went with us, but you don't remember. We took you.
Yeah, you would have been like 4, I think.
Yeah,
exactly.
Probably, I probably went. I don't remember at all.
No, exactly. Yeah, and Hector was already doing his own thing. Yeah, you didn't go with us that day, but no, we went to the theater. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
but
my
it's
God.
a great movie. But they should have been nominated for
Yeah.
at least a nomination for an Oscar. I know that people are gonna say, I mean, there's better movies, but it's just it's a classic comedy to me. It's a comedy that you enjoy anytime, like Jerry Lewis. That
Mhm.
type of comedy. He was a comedian, so great comedian. So
Right.
Jim Carrey is that type of comedian. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
It's
Yeah, like I couldn't see anybody else doing that role. And it's funny that they had Jeff Daniels, because he's not known for doing that type of
the comedy.
role, those
Yeah.
comedies. He's more of a, I mean, he does more serious roles and stuff like that. But this was a completely different for him, and
Yeah,
he did
that
such a great job doing
that means that
this.
when actor and actresses, they move from a role that they've been very comfortable with, and they move to a different role.
Mhm.
That's when they get the credit, the merit, right? Because they're really acting out of their level, comfort level.
Yeah.
So so I think we
They
should.
show their range.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think we should push for a nomination for Dumb and Dumber for the next Oscars.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know.
Instead,
It's not.
all the fans, Leo, all your fans and Leo's fans,
Uh-huh.
let's get to sign to nominate Dumb and Dumber for the Oscar. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Delayed Oscar.
Oh, we'll try. We'll try. It's so crazy to think that so yeah, it came out in 1994,
Mm-hmm.
but that was such a big. I think it was that was probably the biggest year that for Jim Carrey that pushed him ahead and into the movie into the movie movies talks, because that Dumb and Dumber came out that year, but also The Mask and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Oh, okay.
All three of those movies came out in 1994. So it's crazy that year 3 of Jim Carrey's movies came out that year.
Yeah, he was. I think that was one of his strongest times, because he was going back to back, and he had they were very successful movies. Like The Mask was really good, and don't forget his the Ace Ventura movies.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think the next podcast we should talk about Ace Ventura. Oh my, that's another one.
Oh yeah,
that'd be a great one. Yeah,
the first one, right?
yeah. Oh man, yeah. It's so crazy. Yeah, the fact that it could have not been Jim Carrey or Jeff Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
I told you guys before we started recording that it was close to being Nicolas Cage was going to be Harry, and then and some other actors like Gary Oldman could have been Lloyd, in Jim Carrey's place, or 2 other comedians like Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Mm-hmm.
They could have been Harry, Lloyd, and Harry. It's just
I can see Steve Martin and Martin Short over Nicolas Cage and Gary Oldman.
Yeah,
I just Nicolas Cage, I think, is more of a he has more sarcastic humor.
Yeah,
and I think Steve Martin and Martin Short have more not as over the top as Jim Carrey, but they do a lot more physical. They do physical humor as well, but not just not the Jim Carrey style of physical humor, which is
they were the right actors to get that role. And then the follow up, the sequence, when Lloyd goes into this hospital that he didn't talk to anyone, right? After the trauma of losing Mary. And then
that's the second one.
Sequel.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one later.
We'll talk about that the next time. Yeah, it was a funny movie.
Well, it's crazy. It's hard to imagine other actors in these roles, and how they both dove in dove in and created like these characters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like it's so funny to think too, because Jim Carrey for like the what was it? What do you call it? The character of Lloyd. His real teeth, like he has a filler for that tooth.
Okay.
But for that movie, if you notice, like
out.
Lloyd has a chipped tooth. Like that's Jim Carrey's actual real teeth,
and that's his
like,
actual tooth.
Really? He has Jim Carrey has a chipped tooth, but he has a filler what he always has all the time.
Oh, okay.
So like for the movie, it's a chipped tooth. It's like
so he took his filler out for the movie.
Oh wow! Oh, I didn't know that.
I think it was as a kid, like he chipped his tooth and just
right.
Oh wow, I learned something today.
It's hilarious. What's another fun fact? I read again another article that the guy who played Seabass, he was actually a professional hockey player.
Oh really?
Oh
yeah, and he was a friend of like the director, and they were just like, asked him just to play a character, and it was like he lived up in Boston, or I think he was with the Boston team.
Okay,
and then just asked him like to come and shoot the scenes, and it was, people played it fun and perfectly.
Funny.
It was great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The one that I saw on another movie, but I don't remember the movie, was the guy that plays Mental. I saw him in another movie, but I don't remember.
He looks like he would have been in like one of the like a Sopranos or I don't think he
looks like a good
but
mob,
that type of
mob guy.
like a mob guy. They usually tend to use the same similar guys or for that plays those roles. What's your guys' top 3 favorite parts of the movie?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Top 3.
Your top 3 favorite parts of the movie.
My favorite part of the movie was when Harris is in the bathroom. That I don't know why, but that part makes me laugh so bad. It's because the way he does it, it's just.
Oh yeah, with like his legs up and everything.
Oh my god,
awesome.
That's the part that I laughed the most in the movie. Yeah. What about you guys?
I think one of my favorite parts is I think towards the beginning of the movie when they're in their apartment. And they're just arguing, right? And then he's just like, we have no food, we have no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah. What about you?
I think one of mine funniest the funniest parts are like the snow, like when the snowman fight with the girl with the snowman fight with Mary, and then the tackling, and then him getting his tongue stuck on the ice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then I think my second favorite would be the bathroom scene. That's just hilarious.
It was hilarious. Yeah.
So good.
Okay, guys. Wow. But to remember the whole thing, and there were some scenes that we didn't talk about, but I mean everything was funny.
Yeah, there's so many little funny parts just throughout the whole movie. That's just like I think of the gas station scene is hilarious too, where he's like setting himself on fire.
Oh yeah,
when Harry sets himself on fire.
And it's funny, it's the subtle things that they do in the movie. Like speaking of the gas station scene, when he's filling up the gas on the van, on the dog's van, he literally lifts up one of the back legs of the dog of the van to fill it up, and when it's like leaking, it looks like the dog's peed.
It's just like exactly. So it was a well done movie. Very well.
There's this other part where like when they get to Aspen and they're walking, and there's this like there's this couple that's walking with the girl with like they show her with like she's got a nice butt, and so Harry's like, oh, he's all, what do you say? He's like,
look at the ass on that.
He must.
Yeah, no,
work
he said
Yeah.
something. I thought he said something else. So yeah,
No,
but he's
Harry-
like, yeah,
Look, Harry's like, whoa. It's like, wow, look at the
Look
ass
at
on that.
that.
And then Lloyd's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you must work out.
He must work out.
right. Such a great movie.
All right, guys.
All right, well, we suggest checking this movie out. You can currently watch it on Max if you have that. If not, I'm sure you can rent it on Amazon Prime somewhere.
I'm sure it's like maybe like $5 somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. We'll enjoy
So
it. We'll enjoy it.
it's a funny watch, and it was, it's brought so much laughter to our family. So we hope it brings laughter to you guys. And thank you everyone for checking this out, for having this movie review.
Yeah, we hope you liked it. We hope you liked coming down on our little like memory lane. This is basically how we talk about this movie. We will at times we'll just do a line from the movie and we'll like continue the movie from that line, and it could be a line anytime through the movie. So it's like, it felt perfect to just like go through the movie and laugh and talk about each lines and happenings in the movie. But yeah, we hope you all liked it.
All right. Okay, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.
All right,
later.
All right, guys. Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Okay. Oh.
All right.
I was like, he didn't have to sign off.
Yeah, that was good though.